All right. Good morning, everybody. It is 8 o'clock on the dot on a Wednesday morning. It is February 19th, and this is Coffee Talk. We are watching a storm system that over the course of the day today will be working into Central Florida, bringing with it showers and thunder showers. So let's just be planning for it. Because of that, today is going to be impact weather this afternoon, we think from about 3 to 7 o'clock. So plan accordingly. All right, my friends? The potential is there for some gusty winds, but at the end of the day, we're also just thinking that we're going to be talking about some heavy rains for Central Florida. So we will certainly be tracking that, making sure that you have all the timing so that you can plan your day coming up. It's going to be a somewhat busy morning on Coffee Talk, and we've got the live radar there on the bottom left corner of your screen showing that storm system moving in. Rise and shine. Hope you're having a great start to the day. There's a look at the satellite and radar. The storm system continuing to evolve, bringing some nasty weather up into the panhandle. We'll tap into the live radar data up there in just a few minutes' time. But first, a live look outside in Port Canaveral. It's a little gray. Not exactly the prettiest start to our day, at least in Brevard County. Same things, frankly, holding true in downtown. Let's take a live look outside on our first warning live Doppler radar tower. Let me take you up to Ocala, where we have been watching some areas of rain from time to time. Definitely a gray start there. Tavares, we will tap in and see a little sunshine breaking through. Not too bad. First warning live Doppler radar. Here we go. Live sweep showing the rains up here into Marion County. Nothing strong, nothing like that, but some light showers kind of sneaking on through. Same thing over here into Volusia and Flagler counties as well. But let me do this. Let me tap into. That's the Jacksonville radar. Some heavier rains up that way. Over here to Tallahassee, give me a second, and I'll change over to the Tallahassee live Doppler radar. Popping in. Yeah, I mean there's definitely some heavy stuff here. Panama City area. Yeah. Nothing severe, but there's a lot of rainfall. And I don't think I don't I do have New Orleans. Let's turn New Orleans on. Oh, that's the terminal radar. Because why would we use the National Weather Service radar, Tony Manolfi? Why? I can fix that. But why the terminal radar? Give it a second. Of course, the radar site configuration tool refreshing. We'll get it later. Anyway, you get the idea. There's some nasty storms up that direction, and it's clearing on through, and it's going to be moving our direction. So because of that, let's enjoy the nice quiet morning, but let's understand that into the afternoon, we're going to raise those rain chances. Okay, so this morning, mostly cloudy skies. It's a 10% coverage of passing showers. Little by little, we'll see more cloud. I mean, I see some sunshine breaking through at my house, but you get the idea, right? Through the day, though, showers turning to thunder showers, and there's that 3, 4, 5 p.m. time frame for the impact weather. Not overly concerned about strong stuff, but there is going to be storms in the forecast. So let's do this. We're going to look at the various versions of Futurecast together, okay? Kind of get an idea of where we're at. Let's start with Futurecast. Just regular old Futurecast, if I can find the button. There it is. All right, so regular old Futurecast. I'm going to bring it full screen for you. Showing this morning most of the stuff north of us with some tracking through. But notice by 1, 2, 3 o'clock, we're starting with the rains moving into our area, right? 4 o'clock, getting into Volusia, getting into getting into the metro area, pouring rains in Marion, Sumter, starting to pick up into Lake County, right? 5 o'clock, getting into the heaviest of stuff through the metro. 5:30, 6 o'clock, widespread rains, and then kind of clearing out through 7 o'clock, fading in intensity. So again, we're not like overly concerned about intensity of storms, but there's going to be some rain to deal with. Okay, so that's Futurecast. Let's look at the high risk. When we get scenarios like this, it's always good to check the different models. All right, here's the high resolution rapid refresh model, the HER model as it's called. And it's honestly doing a pretty good job of showing the rains in our northern spots. There's 2 o'clock starting to move in, 3, 4 o'clock. So I think that by news time, we're going to be talking about some heavy stuff north and west of town. Michelle says, love my coffee talk. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it. 4:30, 5 o'clock, getting into the metro area. So I'm seeing, at least for the convective allowing mesoscale modeling, I'm seeing a pretty decent consistency of kind of timeline, right? 6, 6:30, 7, fading intensity, but plenty of showers around, right? There's 9 o'clock, and the Her model is going with some pretty decent swath of rain. And then 10, 11 o'clock kind of gradually tapering off. Ooh, that's nice. The Her model's kind of exciting. I like it. All right, let's look at the beta Futurecast. Haven't looked at that in a minute. Okay. See, beta. I don't know that this is ever going to take over, but beta showing kind of like 3 to 4 o'clock. Stuff starting to get into the area. 4, 4:30, 5 o'clock. So beta Futurecast is a little early. I don't know, and it's keeping the intensity. So it's earlier but feistier. I don't know that I would, take that to the bank, but I think I would go more along the lines of the other products. So, 3 o'clock starting to see it in our northern areas, and then getting into the metro 4, 5 o'clock, and then 6, 7 o'clock. Fading intensity, but kind of working out to the east. So that's kind of where we're at, my friends. That's a look at the day. Okay. Now, beyond that, let's look at the 7-day forecast and just kind of try to dial in. I'm gonna drop the radar box here. So today's impact weather, because of the storms, we've got that handled. Tomorrow, big difference. Morning will be a little bit cooler, not a ton, but that afternoon does not climb, right? Let's look at temperatures for Thursday afternoon, Friday morning, and Friday afternoon, because it's going to be a shift cooler again, right? All right. So let's start with tomorrow afternoon. All right. This is where we're going to see a bit of a change. Today we'll hit 80. Tomorrow, 66 for a high in Orlando. 59 degrees for a high in Palm Coast. Yep. All right. Let's look at Friday morning. Still near freezing up in Marion County. 39 in Leesburg. 42 degrees in Orlando. 41 in Sanford. Big difference. Big difference. Huge. Yeah, big difference. Right? Okay. So, Friday morning's coffee talk, we're going to be chatting about some big chill. Is it the coldest we've seen? No. But is it going to be a nice chill? Yes, it is. Now we've got this storm system moving in just for grins. Give me 2 seconds. Let me dial this up. January. All right, give me a second. I'm just pulling up weather maps. So funny. All right. So this is, you see that storm system there? Let me show this to you. Let's look at the weather maps. For it's a little shorter than 42 days. This cycle at least, but let's look at this the last cycle. Look at that. That's January 10th. Isn't that funny? That would be November 29th. Let's do 25. We'll do 24. We'll go early, a day early, the 28th. Look at that, the 28th. There's your 29th. Yeah, look at that. So that's 2 cycles ago. So anyway, yeah, this is lined up. This fits our long range cycling pattern. So there it is. Kara's asking, not sure what we're looking at. So a part of long range forecasting for me is looking at these long range cycles. And all I was showing is this exact storm system 1 cycle ago and 2 cycles ago. And it's exactly right on time. Kara, if you are unfamiliar with how I do long range forecasting, then stay tuned because we've got our long range forecast coming in 9 days. And you know what's funny is I also did I did the graphic. I had the graphic fixed up for the 2025 hurricane season forecast, didn't put it in the computer yet. So there you go. Mickey says, "Hey Eric, that low when it recycles during hurricane season is going to be interesting." Yeah, this is going to be I just wanted to check, is this part standby? I want to double check that this is on my list and it's on Jeremy's list. Because I got Jeremy's text list yesterday. Yeah. A good severe. So, yeah. Ish. Ish. Honestly, ish. Okay, sorry. Texting Jeremy about this. Gulf Coast storms. Oh, hold on. I sent it to the wrong guy. Hold on 1 second. See, I'm multitasking. Hold on a second. Okay. So anyway, there you go. Making the graphic is the hard half of the battle. Yep, yep. So anyway, yeah, stormy over the Gulf, and then we'll turn stormy over us. Janice says T minus 9 days. That's right. That's right. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Today's a good day for working at home inside. Maybe I'll get some reading done. Yeah. Today's a good day to get some reading done. You mean he texts and doesn't use courier? I know. Jeremy texts. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. He does. He texts. And we can pick on him for it. That's what I expect. Now, in terms of rainfall for us in our area, let's look at the rainfall numbers with the different models. This is going to start with our Futurecast model on the left and the HER model on the right. Both are showing ½ inch or less across most of town with some isolated pockets in the metro around a ½ inch to an inch. So that's the high resolution models. If we look at the global models, kind of in the same ish ballpark. So anyway, it's already wet and gloomy. That's right. So Wednesday, Thursday at Sun and Fun is going to be a wet one. Hopefully it gets cool after. Oh, look at you. Look at you applying, Mr. Matt. Look at you. I think that my day, I have to look and see when I'm planning to head out to Sun and Fun. But look at you. Look at you. Are those are those models guidance or gospel? Tim, I think you know the answer to that. I think you know. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Isn't that funny? So that's where we're at. Some storms today, impact weather for our afternoon commute. And then after that, we are looking much, much, much better. Questions, comments, concerns? Anything? You know what I'm going to do? This is the squirrel thing, right? I'm going to take and I'm going to make a smaller version of the radar inset box. There. Just so that way when I'm Doing the 7-day. I can have it there. This is where my brain goes. Perfect. It's a little bit smaller than the other one. But that way when the 7 days up, we can still have it. Okay. Sorry. Brian's asking the villages. Yeah, so the villages, it looks like 2, 3 o'clock, the storms are going to start to work in. Yeah. All right. Jamie's asking, do we have time for the BSR? Yeah, I guess we can do that for sure. Yeah. Janice, love the radar. Well, and I wasn't able to do it while I had the 7-day up. So at least that's good now. All right. Oh, look. All right. Everybody's wanting to see the BSR. All right. So let's do that. Give me a second to get it set up. Turn the model off. Turn you. Stop back. All right. Okay. BSR. All right. So let's start. I mean, there's a decent little low there. So that's the 26th, 27th, 28th. So that's toward the end of the month. 26th, 27th, 28th. Decent little storm system moving through. There's another one there. Second, third, fourth. That's an interesting one off of our east coast there. Third, fourth, fifth. Panhandle. Good cold front. Fourth, fifth, 6th of March. March looks busy, right? Like, look at all these lows. The beginning of March absolutely is looking busy. And then you got you. What are you down there? 7th, 8th, 9th. March is looking really busy to start. Honest to goodness. And then if we were to model it out further, because why not? Good little Gulf low. 10th, 11th, 12th. Another low. 13th, 14th, 15th. Jeez Louise. Another. Y'all, listen. March is 15th, 16th, 17th. And then it looks to try to quiet down a bit afterward. The beginning of March. So what have I said? What have I said for like I feel like what have I said for a month now? I feel like I've said that March is going to come in like a lion. That seems like what direction we're headed. Tim says, I'm coming to town March 9th. Only good weather, please. I mean, at the end of the day, just looking at the BSR, it does look busy. You know? Good times. So there's your answer for those that are asking. Bite your tongue, Mickey. Yeah, that March choo-choo train of storms, like one after another after another. Mickey says, I'm not a fortune teller, but in 9 days, I would suspect the forecast showing the Gulf as a hotspot once again. Should I share that? Like, yeah, the Gulf is going to be the hotspot this year. For those of you that are watching, and there's over 500 people watching, let me tell you something. The Gulf is going to be the hotspot this year. Yeah. Still working on the forecast. Nothing is official. As a matter of fact, Jeremy and I are still, we're in like draft 2/3 of the features to really pick on. And I issued my first numbers um, forecast yesterday. Jeremy has not we've not traded number forecasts yet. That's what we're doing today. So we're still very much working on our hurricane forecast. But yeah, Mickey, I'm not a fortune teller, but in 9 days, I would suspect the forecast is going to show the Gulf as a hotspot. Yes, you're right. Tiffany wasn't the hotspot last year. Yeah, but I do think that we're probably going to have different hotspots in the Gulf this year. So yeah, there's that. What is the BSR for somebody was asking? The BSR is a way to look at. It's like a teleconnection. Look at the weather somewhere else to kind of give us an idea of what's going to come here. A month later. It's not perfect, but it's an idea. Yeah. All right. What were some of those pressures from March, and how could that possibly translate to pressures in the summer? Yeah, so Leslie, essentially there's a weather theory using teleconnections. I kind of love teleconnections, and there's this idea that the weather has these broader cycling patterns that loop every several weeks, and every year has a different duration, et cetera, et cetera. So the idea is that this year, every 42-ish days, the weather cycles through, and thus tracking these storm systems now gives us at least a look ahead to hurricane season. So that's where we put our forecast together. That's one of the tools that we use to put our hurricane forecast together. So in 9 days, I'm going to give you an idea of what we think this season is to come. And if you're curious, I still have I'll show it to you. Give me a second. Let me get it put up here. I still have undisturbed, but I still have the hurricane season forecast from last year up on wesh.com. So if you go to wesh.com/hurricane forecast, undisturbed is my hurricane forecast from last year, talking about what we forecast, talking about the storm systems, the dates. It doesn't have proof of performance because it's undisturbed, right? Like the last time it was updated, just look at the last time that it was updated here, for goodness sake. If you look there on the top left or top right part of the screen there, updated March the 1st. So that was where we updated the forecast from last year. So anyway, wesh.com/hurricane forecast. That's where it is, and it's still there for last year. So you can still feel free. How did we do? There's the numbers that we put up. There's the different parts of the weather pattern that we put up. So those were our areas. Those were our areas that we highlighted for last year's hotspots. How did we do? That's last year. We'll have to look and see about this year, but at any rate, so that's what we will be putting out. So it is. Wait, I saw somebody say that was last year's. Correct. Yeah, that was last year's forecast that I just showed. That was not this year's forecast. It was last year's. Yeah, Kara. So was your forecast last year? So Kara's asking, so was your last year forecast correct? It was running. I have to redo the numbers again, but I believe we were at 78% accuracy for storm systems. I believe that was where we ended up. So, I mean, I think it's really good. We'll see what this year brings. Still too early to dial into it, but we'll get there. The Gulf is mad because they changed its name. I don't know. I'm not gonna. Have you noticed I only say it's the Gulf? I can always tell when Tony specifically calls it a name because we get emails one way or another. Just call it the Gulf, y'all. Matt says, of course, last year you were correct and we got spanked. Please, no spanking in 2025. I will attempt that. Yeah. Betsy says, you and Jeremy did awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Pretty accurate. So grateful for the thank you, Kara. Listen, I mean, all we can do is try. That's all we can do. Nikki says 78% is a really good record. The year before, every hurricane that moved in hit our hotspots. So it was a 100% the year before. But I would also say, like, I cannot expect that. So it is what it is. Mickey says, definitely the best hurricane season forecast out there, if you ask me. I'm a firm believer in the LRC. Thank you. Appreciate it. So we're working on it. We're working hard, making sure that we've got you taken care of. All right. So that said, 9 days. 9 days. Lisa's asking, are we in El Nino or La Nina? We are in a La Nina right now. Supposed to go neutral. Then we'll eventually go back La Nina, it looks like. So, yeah. Don, total nerd weather question, but do you know which year you've had the highest percentage of accuracy? I know 2023 was pretty close. It was 2023. Every storm that moved into one of our hotspots, so that's 100%. We average 72 to about 78% of storms move into our hotspots, which, I mean, it's not snake oil, you know? Your batting average the last 2 years is .850 Hall of Fame. Well, look, I don't need a Hall of Fame. I'm just trying to do my job, just trying to be a service to you and your families. That's all. That's all. That's all. So, it is what it is. Taylor. No. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? The ghosted woman, La Nina, is worse for hurricanes. Yeah, it usually is. So, yeah. All right. We good? Any questions, comments, concerns? Mickey and I love the advance heads up for potential systems impacting us and getting prepared in advance helped us during Milton. You know, we're just trying to do our things here. That's all. That's all. When it comes to forecasting, a 75% is perfect. We're trying. We're trying. I got a lot of work to do before next Friday. I got a lot of work to do. Yep. So, long coffee talk next Friday. A long coffee talk next Friday. Yep. I could have, but I didn't. Were we at El Nino last year? So, one way that you can look at El Nino and La Nina, if I can find, here it is. So, this is how we track it. Y'all are putting me to work today. So, this is the way to track it. It's basically looking at the cold and warm episodes. So, last year, 2024, we were El Nino at the beginning, went neutral during hurricane season, and then really subtly shifted into La Nina thereafter. But there's all the records. And what's funny is this is a product I really study in putting together our hurricane season forecasts. Wow, you're having to work. It's almost like it's what you do for a living. Exactly. And I'm not going to complain about it at all. I'm simply saying I have a lot of work to do on this hurricane season forecast before next week. So, yeah. Can you give us a note to be late to work next Friday since we'll all be watching? Well, I could do that. Thanks, Kathy. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Are we good? Just a reminder, my friends, we do have ourselves impact weather this afternoon, right? So just be ready for it. Gusty winds, heavy rain, all that fun stuff. We'll be fine. Well, you're going to be fine. Why are you saying it's impact weather then? Because the weather is going to impact you. We're just trying to make it as easy as is possible for you. But I don't need that. Well, then you're at the wrong place. You're watching a weather forecast broadcast on your social media. This is the right place. That's where you're going to get this stuff. Are you broadcasting next Friday from somewhere special? I kind of like my home office. Is that okay? Is that all right? I kind of like it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just be home. That's all. All right, people. That's all I've got. Thank you for hanging out. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Take care. We'll talk. Yeah, the pool. We'll talk to you later.